What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? It's exactly what we're doing here. Let's make sure we get Instagram live here really quick. Let's go. Here we go. I think we're in that thing. We are in that thing. Welcome back. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, everyday hustlers. Welcome back, motivators. Welcome back, go getters. Listen, you're live. We're here. Today is February 19th. Today's episode 29. Already, man, we're only what? Man, we're a month and a half into the year, and we're almost at 30 episodes already. So thank y'all for rocking with your boy. That each and every episode is designed to do one thing: push you forward, give you the insight, the education, and the framework you need to build your $1 million playbook. So why are we here? What are we doing? We're building $1 million business, and we're doing it in public. Each and every day, I'm taking you behind the scenes, basically to show you how the sausage is made. Every conversations that we're having, we're showing you the systems that we're adopting. We're talking about the automations that we're putting in place. We're introducing you to other game changers in the industry as well. And I'm giving you the complete playbook. It's absolutely free. So every single time you join, it's designed to do one thing: push you forward, give you the insight you need to build the framework for your $1 million playbook as well. So once again, thank you guys for joining. We're going to be streaming today on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Facebook. As always, drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I'll make sure to say thank you for joining and hi, because I appreciate your time. I understand 30 minutes is a commitment, but it's also worth it because of the insight and information that you're going to get from each one of these. Now, with that being said, we're on episode 29. What does that mean? There's 28 other episodes that if this is your first time here and you missed those other 28 episodes, feel free to go to the link or the QR code that I got right there on my top right-hand corner. Click on that, go to the playlist called Building $1 Million Business, which sits on my YouTube page, and you can watch the other 28 for free. I encourage you to do that today because, as you know, if you've been on any part of social media, what they've been doing is they've been clearing out space to make room for more content, right? And so I can't guarantee it's going to be there tomorrow. But today we're on episode 29. 29 lighters on the dresser. Yes, sir. I got to get paid. Listen, we should have did that last week because it was actually 25 lighters on the dresser, if you know the song of that. But today is 29 lighters on the dresser, so we're about to get paid. What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about the DM strategy at scale. Listen, you're an everyday entrepreneur, you're an everyday go-getter, and you're trying to reach your right people, but you don't effectively know how to use the DM strategy in order to create opportunities for yourself. That's what we're getting into today. Listen, guys, I'm Patrick Hart, H-A-R-T. Kind of like Kevin Hart. He's way funnier. He has way more money than me. But what I'm doing for you today, this year, is I'm designing this full playbook, giving it to you for free so you can grow alongside with me. We grow this thing together. So I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. And every single time we join, every single time we do one of these, is designed to help you move forward. And today we're talking about the DM strategy. As always, drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from, because eventually you're going to want to know, as well as me, which platform actually give us the biggest bang, the greatest return on investment. Because once we start spending money in your business and my business, we need to know where the best impact comes from. All right, I see Robert Dunn, YouTube. Thanks for joining, family. I see my Instagram family on there joining as well. Thank you guys for joining as well and rocking with your boy. My LinkedIn family always continues to show up, so I appreciate the love that you guys have been giving me. I call my Facebook team my silent reviewers because they show up big after the fact, meaning when this is on replay, man, these guys have been tapping in like crazy. And then I'm new to TikTok. TikTok has been showing me love. So TikTok family, thank you very much. I've only been using it for 6 months. But as always, if this is your first time here, remember, this is episode 29. So we have 28 other additional episodes. You can go back and check that out on my YouTube playlist. I called it Building $1 Million Framework or Building $1 Million Playbook. Go check those out while they're still free today. So what if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Well, that's exactly what we're doing. So let's get into it today. Remember, chat box is going to be open while I run through these talking points, but continue to show me love. I appreciate it. Listen, people think that scaling DMs means that you're replying faster. That's not what it's about. All right. It's not about our speed to reply faster. It actually means designing a communication system where attention goes and where money and relationships live. This is what we're trying to create. We want to have a system where the attention goes, the money and the relationships lives. Today, we're learning how to stop being busy and start being intentional about your time, your energy, and your efforts so we can actually get to the money. Okay. Let's talk about this. This topic right here, I call this the DM to dollar system. The DM to dollars, because we want to DM people, but we want it to translate to dollars and cents for us, right? That's any business owner. You're trying to grow something. So you need to understand that DM strategy if you're going to effectively communicate with the right people and have the right message so you can grow your $1 million framework. Listen, I see more and more TikTok family joining as well. So thank you, TikTok family. I appreciate you. Okay, we're good on that. Okay, because TikTok doing some crazy things. So the DM to dollar system, let's talk about exactly what it is so you understand it. This is where you transition from a creator to being an operator, right? Growth doesn't break businesses. Unmanaged conversations do. And this is the thing we want to do so we can grow your $1 million playbook as well. Attention is now a pipeline. We need to understand that, not a notification. The inbox becomes a sales floor once you cross a certain audience size. And so if you've been scaling your business, once you get to a certain level, now we have to put in some additional work to ensure that our time is managed, but also we're effectively communicating with the right people. The problem is no longer getting interest at this point, right? It's directing the interest to the right proper places, to the right conversations, okay? A DM is not small talk, right? A direct message, if you ever heard that before. A DM is not small talk. It's micro meeting. So basically, you're having a mini meeting within a side of chat box, and we need to understand how to have those meetings where it drives dollars and cents into the business that we've created. Okay, I see more and more TikTok family coming. Thank you, family. Instagram family, I see you. My YouTube family, thank you. LinkedIn family, as always, I appreciate you. Facebook, you guys have been rocking with me, so I appreciate the love as well. So know this. I want you guys to know this. I want you guys to know this. When your content actually works, your job changes. You stop posting and you start managing demand, right? So a lot of people early on, you start posting because you're trying to create these inbound flow. You're trying to create people DMing with you so you can start, solving their real world problems or pitching your product, services, and or solutions, right? But when your content actually starts working, your job changes. You stop posting and now we're managing demand. So let's talk about the DM volume reality, because this is what's going to happen if you're doing it right. This is what's going to happen. There's a hidden tax of audience growth. Y'all tap in with me, follow along, listen to this, because this is where a lot of people that I talk to behind the scenes, this is where they get stuck. They start getting DMs and then they get overwhelmed. They don't know what to do next. They don't have the right messaging or the right framework or the right toolkit to actually move the conversation forward. So I got something for you. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but let's talk about the DM volume reality really quick. Let me share these insights with you, okay? In your early stage, every message feels exciting, right? We like that part. People start DMing you, the message starts coming in, we're excited. We're like, man, I'm creating something of value. People have interest. They want to slide into my inbox. They want to learn more. And then very early on, man, that's super exciting. You're like, dude, like I'm actually doing something that people want to understand more of. But then you get to the growth stage. In your growth stage, your messages becomes an operational overload, right? You start growing and now you're getting 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 DMs a day. And meaning, listen, that's a great problem to have if you have that problem. But once you start getting that many DMs, right, now we need to know how to solve that particular problem. Listen, without a system in place, you're either going to burn out or you're going to start ghosting people. And both of those are no good for you and your business, okay? Let me pause really quick because I got more talking points. There's a lot to get through. Y'all know I like to talk. But, I try to pack in as much as I can in 30 minutes to deliver it for you so you can go back and have a playbook and a framework so you can implement that into your business ASAP like today, right? So if you're just now joining, thank you guys for joining. What I want from you is a few different things. One, sign up for the newsletter. We're growing that baby to 50,000. We're right at about 60,000. We got 10 and a half months left in the year to hit our 50,000 mark. And I need your assistance there. So join the newsletter if you haven't joined the newsletter. The other thing, too, is invite like-minded individuals like yourself to join us here. We learn together. We grow together. I do these each and every day, Monday through Friday. They're only 30-minute segments, and every episode is designed to do one thing, move you forward. Whether you're a mid-level professional looking for that next level in your career, or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for a toolkit, or a system that's going to move you along forward so you can make your $1 million as well. So make sure you invite other people. I do these every day, Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. So tap in with your boy, sign up for the newsletter. So let's get into the rest of this. So we're talking about, some of these the hidden tactics you get with your audience, right? Without a system, you either burn out or you start ghosting people. But most creators, you know what they do? They accidentally train their audience to expect instant replies. This is a big mistake on your part. And you didn't even know you're doing that mistake. You're thinking, man, I want people to know I'm right here. I want to give them instant replies. But what happens is you create a response anxiety, which becomes a cognitive drain on you, not the person that's DMing you, but it becomes a cognitive drain on you. So we'll talk about this. So here's the real risk, real quick. Ignoring DMs, it doesn't just lose sales, it weakens your trust signals. And we don't want to weaken our trust signal, especially when someone took the time to send us a message and slide into our inbox. We want to make sure every single one is addressed properly, if it makes sense, right? And so here's an operating philosophy I want to share with you guys really quick. I want you to automate repetition. Okay. There's a thing called automation, right? And there's tons of tools out there. I'm not going to share with you today what tool I'm using, but there's many different tools that you can use to automate your repetition. So one, you want to automate your repetition. Two, you want to humanize your decisions, meaning it's actually you or you've trained an AI to sound exactly like you. So we're being 100% authentic in our approach when we're communicating with people, because no one wants to speak to an LLM system. They want to speak directly to you. They want to hear from you, right? So we want to humanize our decisions right here. Here's something you should know also. There's this thing called batching psychology, right? You need to get really good at this. This is the constant replies. Like once you get into like constant replies, what you're tapping into is a reactive brain. Once you get into scheduled replies, you're tapping into the strategic brain. So what I mean is, you're that type of person, somebody slides in your DM and then instantly, ASAP, you're responding back. You're tapping into a reactive brain. It's your reactive brain as well as their reactive brain. But the psychology approach, when you start scheduling replies, you start tapping into not only your strategic brain, but theirs as well. When there's a delay in place before you actually DM, it makes people think on the opposite end, one, whether or not they're going to get a response. But then once you respond back with something very thoughtful that's designed to meet their DM, to match that energy, now you're going to start tapping into their strategic brain, and it's going to shorten your cycle of what that DM process actually looks like. So what am I advising? What Patrick talked to me, what are we advising? I'm advising you to start tapping into your strategic brain. Every response doesn't need to be ASAP. Sometimes you can pause your response, or you can have time blocks when you actually start responding to DMs. So we need to understand that psychology of around DMs, okay? And then I leave you with, I'm not going to leave you with this, but I want to hit you with this. I want this statement to land, okay? I want this to hit you right where you are right now. Speed builds connection early, right? But consistency, it actually builds trust later, right? So we're looking to be consistent. We're looking to build trust. You know what, guys? Before I get into my other talking point, because I got 17 minutes and this is action-packed. I got plenty of stuff to talk about, but I've actually created a toolkit for this. And it starts as low as $49. You can tap into the newsletter to show you effectively how to use DMs. It got the toolkits, it has examples in place. All you got to do is plug and play, copy and paste. You can do it. You can use it in your business. The whole framework is there. Designed at $49, and it goes up to $299 depending on the system that you're looking for. But I think you can get what you're looking for only $49. Tap into the newsletter. You're going to see that there under the products portfolio. So let's talk about the DM prioritization strategy really quick. Pause. More and more people are coming in. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you and welcome for joining. Today we're talking about DM and scaling. Okay, we're on episode 29. The other 28 is in my playlist, in my YouTube playlist. So use the QR code, sign up for the newsletter, and or go to my playlist on YouTube called Building $1 Million Business. And the other 28 is there. Tap into those while they're free today. At some point, I'll probably convert those into some type of mini course or whatnot. So let's talk about the DM prioritization strategy. And yeah, thank you guys for joining, because we're filling up. I see TikTok is getting live. I see Instagram is getting live. I see my LinkedIn is getting live, as well as Facebook. So I appreciate you guys for tapping in. So every message carries intent, right? And we need to understand the level of our buyers, or the intent that our buyers have, if you're going to focus on your DM strategy. One is going to be your high intent buyers, right? They're really, really high intent. So I want you to help you understand this. Response time directly impacts your conversion rates here. for your high intent buyers, meaning they're looking for a solution ASAP. They're expecting an answer ASAP. So we need to know who our high intent buyers are. People who ask logistic questions are mentally already purchasing from you, right? And I give you some insight on what some of those questions are. But delay, when you start delaying with those high impact buyers, now it's going to begin to create doubt on their end whether or not you can actually do what you say you can do, right? So we need to know when our high impact buyers are actually sliding in our DMs, what we're going to say, and we need to know what that time looks like. All right. So let's talk about this is what I want you to do. All right. I want you to do this. I want you to track keywords that buyers use repeatedly, right? And this is going to be your income or your high value clients or high people that slide into your DMs. Here's some of the words that they actually use. They use words like how, right? HOW. They use words like price. They use words like can you. They use words like do you offer. All of these are buying signals. These are buying words. So you want to pick up on these words when someone DMs you or you DM somebody else. How, like how much, they want to know how much is going to, what's the price? Can you do this or can you offer this? They also want to know, do you offer certain things? These are all buying words, and these are your high intent buyers. Now, your medium intent buyers, I want you to review them as this. These are your future buyers, right? And in your future buyers, they're your trust builders. You continue to build trust with them because for whatever reason, they're not hooked yet on what you offer. Maybe they want some proof points. They want to see other like-minded individuals like themselves. So they're medium, middle level of the road buyers, and I call them your future buyers, right? So they value your future buyers. They value education more than selling, right? So this is not the time we start selling them things. We begin educating them on the transformations that they will receive with our products, solutions, or services, right? So everybody that's going to be buying from them, they're looking for a transformation. So we need to understand that. It should be in the back of your head. Is how can I transform their life into something meaningful that they've been trying to seek for themselves, right? So education is more valuable. Templates right here starts to save time, but personalization actually keeps the respect. So we want to make sure that everything we're doing here with your medium level buyers, that we're personalizing our message. We're speaking directly like we're speaking to our brother, right? Or our sister or our mom or brother. Like we're speaking, language, right? These people, they convert later because now they become to get familiar with you. Okay. So I want you to use this strategy. Tag them mentally as pipeline, not engagement. So a lot of us have CRM systems. If you don't have a CRM system, you want to add that person to a CRM system and then tag them as part of your pipeline, not engagement. Meaning we're not just continuing to engage with them. They have value, right? And they want to know more about your value. So it's up to us to continue to provide value for them so we can get them over the cross point where they decide to invest in your business. Okay. So that's your medium buyers. Use this strategy. I told you, tag them, put them in your pipeline, not engagement. They're part of your pipeline. And then your low intent buyers, I call these your attention zappers because these are the people that slide into your DMs and they're expecting you to respond ASAP like they're a high intent buyer as well. But this can actually zap your energy. It can exactly your thought process as well as the amount of money that you're making as well. So here it is. Appreciation matters here, but attention has an opportunity cost. Not every interaction deserves equal depth. So that means every time somebody slides into your DM, that doesn't mean you need to respond every single time. At this point, we should have them categorized. Are they high intent? Are they medium intent? Or are they low intent? Your low intent buyers, you can actually push them off or decide not to engage with them altogether. But I would encourage you to always engage with people. It's just to the level of the engagement that you're going to put in, because at some point, this is going to be an energy drain and a time drain for you. Okay. Not every interaction deserves equal depth. So I talked about that. Boundaries are part of professionalism. This is where you start setting boundaries. Okay. A lot of people struggle with small business owners, mid-level professionals, entrepreneurs, because they haven't created the boundaries for themselves. Every message that comes in, they want to respond back to it. Why? We're wasting our time. Not every message needs that particular attention. Boundaries are part of being professional, right? So we want to get professional, set our boundaries. Absorb this line really quick, okay? Respecting your time, it teaches your audience to respect your value. So when people start sliding in your inbox and it's not of high intent or value, listen, we can push off that message for a little bit so we can focus on the revenue generating activities that's actually going to drive revenue for our business. And this is probably those replies that we want to automate, because if you automate those replies right there, then it takes the workload off of you. So we want to develop the system that helps us automate that as well. So let's talk about really quick. I got 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. I see more and more people joining. Remember, invite like-minded individuals like you to join. I do these Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30-minute segments. Today we're on episode 29. 29 light is on the dresser. Yes, sir. We got to get paid. Listen, we're all about getting paid. And today we're talking about scaling your DMs so we can start making money. Okay. Episode 29. Tap into the other 28 on my YouTube platform. Okay. So let's talk about the DM sales conversations at scale. There's 4 stages to this. Okay. One is going to be your qualification stage. Not every interested person is a good client. You need to know that, right? So not everybody that slots into your DM or you're going to DM is going to be a good client for you. Saying no protects your results, right? And then you're really focused on testimonials and retention. Okay, so this is number 1. Number 2, you want to get into diagnosis. People rarely buy what they ask for. What are you talking about, Pat? People rarely buy what they ask for. You need to understand this. What you're solving the underlying problem, not the stated request. A lot of people state they're looking for something, but there's a bigger problem underneath the surface that we need to identify so we can actually match them with the right products or solutions or services that we actually offer. So a lot of people want to jump into, okay, I heard this and now I want to sell them this, but we need to understand the underlying problem first if you want your DM to be effective and you want them to convert to dollars and cents, right? So diagnose properly. And I put all this in the toolkit. I mean, I got a $49 toolkit. This is going to solve all this for you, right? So you want to tap into that. The other thing, number 3, is alignment. Reflect their situation back to them. When people feel understood, okay, when they feel understood, the resistance drops. This is what we're looking for. We want those walls to come down where people start seeing the value, and then they can move forward whatever your products, services, and or solutions that you have to offer. So that's number 3. We're focused on alignment. Number 4, this is when we get into the offer. Your offer becomes extremely obvious now once we understand everything, and we're not having to persuade anybody to buy anything. We've matched our offer with the particular outcome they're trying to achieve. Remember, we have to understand that underlying solution, right? The understanding problem. And once you understand that, it's easy to slide back into somebody's inbox with an effective DM and say, hey, this is what I heard. This is what I understand. This is who I helped before. Here's actually a tool that's designed to help you with that, right? And then we present the offer. Because we understood them, they're more likely to invest in that particular system and or that tool because you understand their problem. You actually restated it back to them, right? So there's 4 different parts here. There's going to be the qualification, there's the diagnosis, there's the alignment, and then there's the offer. So I want you to know this. Closing is not convincing, okay? At this point, we're not convincing. We're just confirming everything that we already heard. And this is so powerful for a lot of those people who struggle, who really, really struggle with selling online, right? Like I'm fearful of selling because I don't want people to like the way they look at me. Maybe they're doubting me, they're judging me, whatever. Once you do this right, you don't have a problem anymore. Now it becomes easy. We've heard them and here we understand their problem. Now here's a solution. It's so much easier as well. Conversion rates matter more than volume. So we need to understand it. And the higher the deal size, you may not understand this, but the higher the deal size, the more it reduces your workload. We spend way too much time on entry-level buyers that they're buying like a lead magnet from us, but they're not buying the middle of the road solution or that high ticket offer that we want them to sign. The more people who spend in your money, those are your low risk buyers. Really, they already know that they have a problem. They're ready to solve the problem. They're willing to pay for it. And then all the thing they're going to do is follow the framework that you put together. But those low attention buyers, man, they want this, they want this, they want this. I need deeper understanding on this, deeper understanding on that. And yes, it's a $49 toolkit. At some point, you would think people are smart enough to figure things out, right? No. That's why you always want to get to your mid-tier or your upper-end buyers, okay? So I want you to understand as well. Remember, I created a toolkit. It's a $49. I mean, listen, I'm telling you about it. It's a $49 toolkit to solve the problems that we already talked about. Sign up for the newsletter. You can see it in the products page. You can find the solution that's right for you. I'm always putting solutions together based off of the demand that you guys are sharing with me. You know, I do these every day, Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time, right? So people have been sliding in my inbox and say, hey, Patrick, can you talk about this? Patrick, can you talk about this? Patrick, do you have a solution for that? And that's what I've been doing, listening to you guys and then creating solutions specifically for the outcomes that you're trying to achieve. Now, let me do this. Let me move on. So let's talk about scaling without losing authenticity, because this is where a lot of people, we don't want to sound like robots. We want to sound like ourselves, and we want to scale effectively. I want you to reframe authenticity as it's not about frequency. It's about accuracy of attention. Okay. Let me add this. Authenticity is remembered conversations. When people, they start remembering your conversations, and it's not about the number of total conversations, right? People value relevance over response speed. So you could actually wait an hour, 2 hours, half of the day and respond back to somebody. But when you respond back to them, it's spot on. It solved or it addressed the question that they have or some of the lack of understanding that they didn't have. And so you're spot on. People value relevance over speed. So if you are one of those people, like you wait 3 to 4 hours after you get a DM before you respond, that's okay if you're actually adding value. Okay. And don't scale personality. You scale clarity. Okay. We're not in our DMs. Yes, you can be yourself, but you want to add so much clarity where people understand what your products and or your services actually delivers and what it solves. Systems here, they protect your energy so real conversations actually stay real. I want you to use the template psychology or philosophy. Templates remove thinking fatigue, right? So presence improves where it matters. If you don't have templates in place, like for how are you going to respond to these DMs, this is where one, my playbook comes in, or the toolkit that I created. You want to check that toolkit because there's something there for you. But your templates help you speed your conversations and move to your high intent buyers. Okay. So you want to have that in place. And then here's my core message. Automation doesn't remove humanity. It removes distraction. Okay. You're no longer replying as a person. You're communicating as a business, but with personality. All right. I appreciate the love coming in on TikTok. I see you, family. Thank you. Instagram has been growing. This is amazing. YouTube, thank you, family. LinkedIn has always been joining in, and my Facebook is always my silent watchers. Those are the people who go to my YouTube page more than anybody. But I appreciate the love. Listen, I'm about to close this thing out. I got a few minutes, so let me say this. Or I got a question for you guys. How many DMs do you ignore daily? Do anybody got a DM problem? Like you get a lot of DMs coming in, and for whatever reason you start ignoring them? Y'all let me know in the chat box while I keep talking, okay? And then which messages that you receive, which ones stress you out the most? Like, what are you hearing that's coming into your DM that stresses you out as a small business owner, entrepreneur, right? And you don't really know how to effectively reply to that. Which ones of those stress you out? And then where do your conversations normally stall? Like somewhere the conversation fell off and you wasn't able to convert them from inquiry into a lead into a paying customer, right? Somewhere it fell off there. So we need to understand that as well. And then are you replying or are you leading conversations? You need to understand this too. A lot of people and your small business owner, you start replying to comments, but you're not leading the conversation. Meaning once somebody slides into my DM, you start asking another question. Well, what about this? And what about that? At some point, they're looking to you for a solution. So we need to start leading the conversation to move the conversation along so we're not stagnant and we actually move them to a particular solution. Remember, we're building $1 million business. So we have to have the tools, the automation, and the structure in place. So this is exactly why I created a toolkit to solve this problem. Tap into the newsletter. You can get this problem solved today for $49, right? Sign up for the newsletter. We're growing that baby to 50,000 people. If you haven't signed up for it, we're right about 6,000 a day. We're only 45 days into the year, whatever you do the math, 45 days. We're on episode 29. There's 28 other episodes. So go back and check those out. Listen, today was about the systems. Tomorrow is about the scoreboard. What you'll see is organized conversations that actually produce results and move the needles. Content creates attention, right? We understand that. But conversations create income. Systems actually protect both the conversations as well as the income. Listen, guys, thank you as always, rocking with your boy. I'm Patrick Hart, known as That Healthcare Guy, THAT Healthcare Guy. Follow me across all the different channels. Use the QR code top right-hand corner. You may see the floating banner with a direct link to the newsletter page, or you can click on the link if you're right there on TikTok, or go to my link in the bio, sign up for the newsletter, follow your boy, slide in my DMs if there's other topics that you want to talk about or you have additional questions that we didn't talk about today. As always, I appreciate the love. Thank you for rocking with me. Tomorrow we'll be back. God's willing, I'm on earth tomorrow. We're going to be back noon Central Standard Time. Invite like-minded individuals so we can grow this thing together. As always, thank you for your time. Let's keep hustling, family. I'll see you on the flip side. Let's get it.